Yo, what's up everyone?
Welcome back to our podcast,
The place where the stories get real and memories hit different.
잘 지냈어요 모두 보고 싶었어 우리도 어쩜 이렇게 시간이 안 가는지 정말 버스 안에서 going 이불 속에서 going은 언제나 너에게 going.
Today, we're throwing it all the way back to our living days.
You know, it's like the chaotic, the laugh, the what are we even doing moment, and the small gesture that somehow sticks with you forever.
So grab your snack, chill out, and let's relive the moment that made us say, Yep, this is life. Let's get into it. I have to be honest, the night before we left, I barely slept. Not because I was excited, but because I was nervous and curious at the same time.
Same. Every time I try to sleep, my mind always wonder, what kind of family will I stay with? What if the food isn't my taste? What if I act wrong? Or even the casual fear, how can I survive without my comfy mattress?
Right? And let's not forget the universal concern, like, do I have to shower with cold water? That felt like its own mental challenge for me.
Oh, stress. Oh my god, stress.
But beneath all the fears, there was this one strong feeling, curiosity. It feels like how's it feel to live in a village where the life runs slow and peacefully, because we are so used to live in a digital, noisy, and fast-paced world.
Honestly, it felt like stepping into a new universe that I never experienced. A small journey, but one whose the ending we never predict.
The next morning we got on the bus. The ride was pretty quiet. Some people talked, but some of them were sleeping or maybe staring at the window.
I felt like the farther we went, the more I saw trees, open fields, small houses, and cool air rolling in. It felt like the world was slowly pulling us away from our busy lives. When we saw Bu Nina and Pak Wawan, I immediately felt a sense of warmth. Not polite formal warmth, but genuine, you're welcome here warmth.
The first person who greeted us wasn't even an adult. It's Kak Harel. He smiled at us and suddenly the awkwardness melted.
It felt like, okay, I'm going to be fine here.
Bu Nina's house was simple but very comfortable. There was a sense of calmness that wrapped around you when you first step inside.
I loved the atmosphere, such as family's photos, warm corners, a gentle breeze, and the sound of a small dog walking around with its little tuk-tuk footsteps. Alright, that was Kimi the Noodle. Evelyn, you were scared at first, weren't you?
Yes, I kinda scared at first. I'm a Muslim and I'm not used to being close to dogs. But Kimi was incredibly gentle. It's like he sensed my boundaries. He never approached too closely. And Bu Nina kept checking on us. Every time we looked confused or stiff, she would say, just relax, feel at home.
And somehow, that simple sentence worked. It made everything easier for us.
On our first day, Bu Nina took us on a village walk, and that's when we realized something's important. This might be a village, but everybody works hard here.
The roads were all uphill. My legs were screaming like,
Why are you doing this to us? Exactly, but we saw so many things here. Farms, animal pens, and villagers already working hard in the early morning.
and the funny part is we went to the wrong farm.
Okay.
We thought it was the one of our friends went to, but nope, it wasn't. But because of that mistake, we ended up meeting other friends. A happy incident for us.
And the next day, we went to the cassava field where Pak Wawan works. I still remember seeing all the cassava pile up and thinking, oh no, what are we gonna do here?
That question was answered fast when Pak Wawan handed us knives and said,
Try peeling this.
Peeling cassava looks so easy, right? But in reality, it requires strength, patience, and technique.
While we worked, Pak Wawan told us stories about his work, the pandemic, his past, even spiritual lessons.
And there was one moment when he said, "What matters in work is sincerity first," and that line hit us hard.
Then the field owner explained the production process of fill, soak, grind, dry, and process into flour and salt. And he told us that they made about 40% profit from the raw cassava price. Plus, they recorded every financial detail manually, neat organized without any digital tools. We observed how production changed day to day, sometimes higher and sometimes lower, affected by weather, works, and demand.
And their financial habits impress me. They wrote everything down, no matter how small it is, something we teenagers rarely do.
Yeah, I usually have no ideas where my money went, but there they treat money as something safe only if recorded.
And of course, it made me rethink how careless I was with mine. And for me, one of the most memorable days was the Gotong Royong Community Service Day. We woke up early and got ready, but at 6:30 a.m., silence, no people and no instructions.
Wait until 7 a.m., still nothing. So we said, okay, let's just start. And that's the beauty of it. Gotong Royong isn't about waiting for orders. It's about taking initiative.
We swept the yard, pulled weeds, and trimmed grass with a tiny sickle that looked like it was meant for bonsai.
Yes, but even with that small tool, we managed, and we laughed together through it.
And somehow, it taught us teamwork isn't about strength, it's about spirit.
After that tiring morning, Bunina said, you should go out and relax.
Okay.
So, we took the change by went to swimming pool with friends, riding in Pamong Daniel's angkot that was packed and noisy in best way.
In the pool, we were like kids again, racing, splashing water, laughing lonely.
And at night, we hung out at Burjo, drink warm ginger tea, talk about everything and nothing.
A simple moment, but one that stayed with us even after returning home. If I had to sum it up, before leaving, we felt nervous but curious, and during leaving, we felt peaceful, accepted, and even grounded.
And of course, after leave-in, there's a mix of pride, gratitude, and sadness, like we left a small part of ourselves in Cisantana. And by that, we learned so many values: cooperation, empathy, gratitude, discipline, independence, hard work, and of course, simplicity. For me, it was gratitude, realizing that happiness can be found in simple things.
After returning, I became more disciplined, more independent, and more aware of those around me.
And I become more conscious of small acts of kindness, more appreciative of routine.
I hope the Live-In program continues and maybe even lasts longer, because the real lessons aren't in the tasks, but in life itself. Okay, I guess that's all from us. I hope I can hear all of your story in the next year.
And I'm pretty sure that you will feel happy too, or maybe even happier than us.
That's all. Bye bye bye.
Ini siapa aja sih barisannya? Coba dong absen. Oke. Kok lembek sih? Ya kan tanah ya, Cer.
Ibu mana?
Ah, ini eceng gondok bukan? Bukan. Oh, bukan ya? Bukan loh. Di pati nggak sih?
Namanya ini yang terbang-terbang ini.
Oh, bukan. Eceng gondok mah gede. Ya, ini video. Ih, kamera gua kotor. What? Tissue.
Mantap Joy.
Oh, anak kelas mana? Yon! Sebelahnya malah. Putri.
Katanya gimana ditanya itu mau jadi putri kalau. Udah, video. Kalian mau video?
Arah ke sana, Fran. Ya, tekan lagi aja. Another destination. Hi guys. Hi. Salah baju. Habis dari sini.
Tidak, kita live-in berenang ya.
Have fun. Iya.
Itu baju siapa? Vincent.
Berapa dua ini, Mak?